Alrighty, hey guys, Ben Uyama here, helping you guys quit porn and masturbation so that you can focus on bigger and better things with your life and your time and your energy. So I was just on a call with a guy who is considering working with me. So I always ask a series of questions to guys, and I thought this kind of conversation is very typical. So I wanted to tell you kind of what he learned from this 1 hour conversation that we had. So basically, this fine gentleman came on the call and he was feeling very gloomy and depressed, as many times guys are when they start talking with me, right? It was like, I've been battling this habit for so many decades, so many years, and I just feel hopeless and terrible and all the things. And I'm a man of faith, I'm a Christian. I can't believe that I have this as part of my life. I just feel worthless and all this stuff. And I said, okay, hold on. Let's take a step back. Why do you think you have a habit and you continue to do something in your life that causes you so much pain, even though you have all these reasons, even though you don't want the habit? Why do you keep going back to the habit? Okay, so then his wheels started turning, and then he started explaining the many factors that contribute to his addiction, right? So he started saying things like, well, it's because I was exposed to it when I was very young. And then also he said that because I have a high sex drive, I'm very lustful over women and all, those reasons. And then he said that, oh, it's because of spiritual factors, like the devil and Satan and all that stuff, right? And I was like, okay, let's be real. Those are all factors that contribute to addiction, but it's not the reason that you choose to do something that causes you pain, even though you don't want to have it anymore. Those are all contributing factors that may play a big part in it. Yes, I'm not disregarding them, but it's not the single greatest contributor to your habit and the single reason that you choose to do this to yourself over and over again. He was like, okay, tell me about that. And I said, based on everything that you've shared with me, as soon as you came on this call, I could see by looking at your face, the single greatest contributor to your porn use is shame. Okay? The single greatest contributor is you feel like you're a worthless piece of shit. His words. And he's not worthy of relationship. He's not worthy of his marriage. He's not worthy to stand in front of God. He's not worthy to be a parent. He's not worthy of love, grace, acceptance, of anything like that. All right? And I said, that's why you have this habit, because you are so caught up in yourself being a worthless person in front of God, in front of your faith, in front of everyone, that feeling of unworthiness is so painful to you that it causes you to want to escape and run away. And the easiest way for you to run away and escape is through porn and masturbation, okay? If it wasn't porn, it would have been something else. And this is what I told him. And I said, I looked at him dead in the eyes. I said, you are not some weird, high sex drive, lustful fiend of a perverted human being. You're not strange. You're not weird. You are not weird. You are not a perverted sexual freak. You are just in pain like everybody else, okay? You're just in pain. And the only way that you have found to alleviate your pain is through porn and masturbation. That is it. That is all that's going on. And it's not a sexual thing, mind you, because sex and porn are complete polar opposites, in the sense that sexuality is a connection experience. It's a connective experience, and porn masturbation is an isolating experience. The end result of a genuine sexual relationship, a real sexual relationship that you're not using each other, is connection. The end result of a porn masturbation session is isolation. In that sense, they are completely opposites. And we tend to conflate them and confuse them when we think that I use porn because I have a high sex drive. You don't use porn because you have a high sex drive. You have trained yourself to rely on porn just to alleviate your arousal, and you've trained yourself to believe that is what is attraction. That is what lust is, and that is what is beautiful, but that's not what genuine attraction is. And I told him, if you are really, really hungry, physically hungry and starving, and I presented you with a McDonald's cheeseburger, and then on the other option, on the other side, was a plain steak with no sauce, no salt, just steak, but it's good for you and healthy. Which option would you choose? If you were really hungry, you would choose a steak because you know it would be better for you and it would fill you up better, okay? Which means if you're not really hungry and you're just bored, you would go to the McDonald's burger. You get my point? It's the desensitization that has you believing that you have a high sex drive, okay? So I told him all this. I was like, your greatest contributor is you feel like you're a worthless piece of garbage and you're not worthy of anything. That's why you have a porn habit. And he looked at me and he said, I don't think that's the case. And they started saying all these reasons, right? And I said, and I looked at him, and again, I was like, dude, you came on this call because you don't know what the hell you're doing. And I say it strong like that on purpose, guys. Don't worry. I say, you don't know what the freak you're doing. You have been addicted to porn for so many decades, and you're going to come on this call and say that you have any idea what you're doing wrong? You have no idea what the hell you're doing. And that's why you're here. And that's why you're stuck. So you can trust me when I tell you you have no idea what you're doing, and this is what I'm telling you is the single greatest contributor to your porn habit, and I want you to think about that and consider it. I'm not saying that I'm absolutely wrong. absolutely right or anything like that. But for this guy in his situation, I was telling him, your thing is shame. That is what's fundamentally causing you to want to run away, because that feeling of shame in your life is so painful that the only way to escape is through porn and masturbation. All right. It's just that porn and masturbation happen to be easily accessible, infinitely available, free to use, accessible anytime, anywhere, any second. Within 2 clicks, you can be watching porn and immediately numb the pain of your life. The pain of I'm not worthy, I'm shameful, I'm stressed, I'm angry, I'm depressed, I'm bored. All those emotions you can squash instantly with porn and masturbation. It just happens to be that it's the most addictive and easily accessible thing on the planet. If cocaine was free to use and you can get it as easily as you can find water, guess what? Everybody would be addicted to cocaine. That's a simple matter of fact, okay? It's just that you have found that porn is the easiest way to justify yourself, to escape, and to numb that experience, all right? So, you, my friend, listening to this video, you are not weird. You are not some weird fiend of a human. You're not high sex drive. You're not just a hopeless case that is just gonna keep porn and masturbation in your back pocket your entire life. You're not. I've worked with men, countless men, who have crippling addictions for decades, more than 50, 60 years sometimes, and they're able to find victory. How? By addressing the single contributor to your porn addiction, not these other things. Everyone is focusing on the goddamn temporary band-aid solutions of maybe I should, block this website, or maybe I should just do this or do that, or maybe I should take more cold showers, or just pray more, or just ask for God's forgiveness more. Yes, that might help. That might address one of the factors, but it's not the single greatest contributor to your porn addiction. The single greatest contributor to your porn addiction is an emotional issue. It's a psychological issue. It's you making a freaking decision to just not have this in your life anymore. Decision. That's what it comes down to, okay? And if you address that single contributor, then your chances of beating porn and masturbation skyrocket, because you won't have the dependency anymore, all right? Ask yourself, when was the last time that you had a deep desire to go out and watch porn? When was the last time you felt that? Now tell me, what was the emotional state that you were in that day? How were you feeling emotionally? Were you stressed? Were you anxious? Were you just depressed? Were you bored? Were you feeling shame like a piece of garbage, like a lot of guys are? If that's the case, guess what? You have found the thing that you need to address. You have found the thing that is going to require your utmost 120% effort to fix. And when you fix that and go serious and actually get serious about addressing that, then you won't need porn and masturbation anymore. I promise you, okay? And until you do that, you will always be an addict. Okay, and this is what I told him to conclude. I said, until you figure out how to connect with people and talk to people and to shed light on the shame and stop feeling shame in your life, you will always be addicted to something. And that's how we ended our call. All right? All right, lots of love to you guys. Straight from the heart. Love you guys. Take care.